Welcome to the Kaiju Network podcast commentary on 1967's Yongary, Monster from the Deep. I am your co-host Kent, and with me is your other co-host.
Jason, how's it going, everyone?
So, unfortunately, no one's going to be able to see me for whatever strange reason. I'm having some camera issues, and I'm not going to take the time to reset my computer.
Well, the only good thing is that it's happening for the commentary because the majority of it is that we're going to be turning off our camera once we get to the commentary. Anyways, well, for me, that is. But basically, the majority is that we don't really use our camera for this. So at least that happened here.
Well, I don't think anybody wants to see my face, anyways. If you can tell, I still am battling remnants of my cold. So I apologize if certain things eventually are not going to come in as clear as usual. But let's just dive right into this. There's not a whole ton of information I could dig up on it, and I just realized that the particular version I'm going to watch, the Blu-ray one, which was released here about, almost 2 years ago now, I want to say. It does have a commentary track on it, which I would highly recommend everybody um, seeking out and watching. It's done by Steve Rifle. And Steve, of course, is someone whom I trust quite a bit. So there is some information there with the movie, and I totally forgot about that until now when I popped it in and I saw a bonus. I'm like, oh crap, there's actual commentary track on here, which I remember watching it when it first was released and I got it, and I was like, oh yeah, there's actually some decent information here. So I apologize in advance that I don't think either one of us watched it with the commentary track before doing this commentary. And so as a result, you're not going to really get a whole lot of information from us other than just kind of our own thoughts and opinions on various moments as this movie unfolds. For those who are not longtime podcast listeners, the reason why we're doing this movie is that it's a guilty pleasure of mine. This is a movie that I really enjoy an awful lot. I first found it on Netflix back around, what was it, like early December of 2012. And I had heard some things on it that it was a really bad, goofy movie from another podcast. And I thought, I got to check this thing out. And so it was still on Netflix and I watched it. And yeah, it's goofy, but I loved it. And it reminded me so much of some of the Gamera and Godzilla movies of the same period.
Mm-hmm.
And I've even said before that in terms of effects, excuse me, that in many ways I think the effects are just as good, if not even better in some cases, not always, but better than some of the Godzilla and Gamera films of the same time. And I really think that not only did individuals from that particular podcast were they incredibly hard, I think, on their criticism of this film. I think this film, unfortunately, has gotten a bad rap throughout a large chunk of the kaiju community. I'm not saying it's a spectacular film. It's certainly flawed, and we'll definitely point that stuff out as we go along here.
But I would have to say is light years better than the remake that was made about, was it close to 20 years ago?
Yeah, because that was originally made in 99. And let me just drop a little bit of trivia, what I do remember off of this commentary, and to kind of tie it in with the 99 Yongary. There is no original Korean version of this 67 film. At least nobody knows. Some speculate it either was destroyed, or some speculate that it's hidden somewhere within the country or elsewhere around the globe. And really, everybody who knows anything about this film just simply says, okay, this Korean original film does not exist. So the movie that we're watching today, the English version, is really the only version around of this film.
Yep.
it's the same thing, similar, I should say, similar with the 99 Yongary, in which that film was originally made in 99 and then redone in 2001. Certain scenes re-edited and reshot. Nobody knows what happened to that 99 version. Um, Again, similar to this film, nobody knows where it's at. It's considered to be lost or damaged, permanently damaged. Um, so these two films have that in common. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I really do enjoy the film. It's goof. I enjoy it because I do think the effects, for the most part, are pretty darn good. It's an entertaining movie. I like the goofiness of it. Some of the stupidity in the film is kind of it's a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of it's it's intriguing. That's not really the word I was looking for, but you know, it's the cold getting to me. So, did you want to add anything? Otherwise, we're gonna get going here.
Yeah, I just want to say that if you like what we're doing here on the Daikaiju Network YouTube channel, just make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and as well as hit the notification bell so you can get the latest updates on our new videos. And as well as we're also on iTunes and Google Play Music, the audio versions. Most of our recent YouTube live shows will get transported as audio versions to those two platforms. And also just want to say that within a couple days, since you sort of mentioned about Netflix here, that the series premiere of the uh, manga adaptation of the Ultraman
That's right.
manga is going to be coming out here on April 1st. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And hopefully we can talk about that in the next episode. Just briefly, I know the next episode is not dedicated to reviewing the new Ultraman. But yeah, hopefully we can briefly talk about it before we do the next review. So with that said, as far as this Yongary movie, I think my first viewing of it, I think it was just about right around the time that Kent viewed it on Netflix, because I also seen it on Netflix as well. And my first impression of it, and I think I've seen the 2001 Yongary before seeing this one. And after watching this one and comparing the two, I enjoyed the 67 version of this film much more, because it's obviously has that nostalgicness to it, if that's ever a word. And the 2001 version, it's more like sort of out there in a ways where they just inserted a plot to that film where an alien race invades the planet, which in the 99 version that wasn't the case, but they inserted that in there. And to me, that part of the story of the whole Yongary mythos felt like it wasn't really true to this whole series, if you can call it a series. But with this one, I think it's one of those films that you can enjoy no matter what. And I really enjoyed the effects, the suit of Yongary, the characters, the story, etc. The 67 version of Yongary, I'd say, is far better than the 2001. And if you think you can think you're going to see the 2001. I think you're just wasting your time.
Well, and you're forgetting something too with the 2001 version, and that is the acting is awful. I mean, it's not
Well,
spectacular
not
here
not only
either,
just
but
not only
even
just the
worse
acting,
there.
but the visual effects of it, because they have Yongary as just a CGI, and even the monster that Yongary faces in this, the two of them are CGI, and it just does not age very well.
No, the 2001 is just it's crap. It's one of those movies where if you're looking for a fun time with friends over drinks and to make some sort of game out of it, by all means do it. But otherwise, it's not. It's worth watching like once every odd number of years just to kind of get reacquainted with it, I guess. Especially if you're a diehard Kaiju fan. If you're a casual fan, no need.
Right.
All right, so um, I know there's still a DVD version of this out here. It's double billed with Conga. I actually have that
I think
too.
I also have that as well before I
Um,
bought this Blu-ray one last year.
but yeah, I'm also doing the Blu-ray. We are at the menu.
Let me
It's
turn
on
off my
play.
camera here.
And so, anybody who is familiar, we're going to do the regular thing where I'll count down. I'll go three, two, one, go. When I say go, that's when we hit, the play. And so, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
All right, here we go. Three, two, one, go.
Kino
I always thought it was
Lower
Kino Lorber.
Kino
I have,
or Kino.
I have at least one other DVD of theirs. I got it a little over a year ago, I want to say. Um, it's titled The Bubble. It's an interesting movie.
The Bubble?
Yeah,
Okay, there's a picture. I was like, I hear something, but no picture.
you can kind of see the what do you call it?
Yeah,
The
the cresses of the matte screen, or not
yeah.
matte screen, the whole background there.
I have to say though that one of the things that I dislike about this movie is this beginning because it takes forever. It's
Yeah,
such a long pandering shot that it's just like this is unnecessary.
yeah. They should have made the camera go a little bit faster on this.
Yeah, I mean this was unnecessary. What's even more unnecessary too is is the fact that being out in outer space and then zooming in on the Earth has nothing to do with Yongari because he's not a space creature.
Yeah, I'm. That could be one of the reasons why they inserted aliens in the 2001 version, but still, that doesn't make any sense for me whatsoever. But we're not talking about the 2001. We're talking about the 67 here right now.
Here we go. It's quite a
In
long
a
title.
very generic title screen.
Well, at least they tried a little bit with the font.
Yeah, but still a bit generic.
A lot of hyphens in the names. I have to say, though, that despite my complaints about the beginning part, the moon and the earth models look pretty darn good. And right here, too.
Yeah. The one thing I would have to say is that when you first see the moon, my first thought was that sort of looks like either Neptune or Uranus.
Watch your mouth.
I like how they drive right in the middle of the highway there.
Yeah, that's. But see, look, that's good matting. I mean, in the Blu-ray
Yeah.
version, you can clearly tell. Well, I don't want to say clearly, but if you look close enough, you can tell that it's matting. I didn't realize that on the DVD.
Yeah, even on, watching the Blu-ray on a 4K TV, even I couldn't really realize the difference between the matte screen and the actual spots that were real. It's that good.
And of course, this is something I know we've talked about on previous podcasts, but if this is the first time you're listening to us talk about Yongary, this was the most expensive Korean film made for many years up until the 99/2001 Yongary came along. And to my knowledge, that one's still the most expensive Korean film made to date.
Even though it seems like they've made some pretty good movies as of recently over there. And I think what was the budget in US dollars? Was it for this one 67,000?
I don't remember. Yeah, I used to know the dollar equivalent, but not anymore.
Let me find that here.
Of course, we get a generic beginning to the movie here. You know, basically, a young couple just got married. They're off on their honeymoon, and they're basically talking about another son or daughter here because,
You kind of went out there for a few
yeah.
seconds.
Well, basically, with how they're talking about it. Basically, what I'm saying is it's just a generic beginning, and it almost sounds incestuous because it seems like they're talking about another son and daughter of the same two families that just got together. And if that's the case, then that's just weird. That just is weird. Well,
Yeah,
here we go. We get a weird light here that causes scratching.
I was reading up here on the production side. The Yongary suit for this, it costs around 100,000 won, which translates into just $400 in US dollars.
And I think even some people from Japan/Toho even sort of kind of helped with the movie too.
Mm-hmm. And it shows here the miniatures and models costed 5 million won, which was 20,000. 12 construction sets cost 7 million, which is $27,000. Oh no, here's a suit. The person that performed in the Yongary suit was paid $400 in US dollars, and the Yongary suit itself costed 1.2 million won, which was $5,000. So, and it says the budget was around 13 to 30 million won. So I'm not. You can probably say that it was under $100,000.
This Icho kid is one of those kinds of kids you see in the movie that you want to punch him. I mean, they try to make him sympathetic just because they make him out to be this rambunctious kid, but it's like, no, you're a terrorist, little boy. Like,
It's Yongary's version of Kenny, of all the Kennys from Gamera.
that's an insult to Kenny's. I think they need to adopt uh, Icho. They need to be like, oh gosh, there are Ichos in that film. I have to say though, this is done by AIP, the company that did the dubbing and distribution of this film in the states. And I don't know what the history is of it being distributed here, but again, maybe Rifle commentates on that in the commentary. But um, the dubbing is good,
Mhm.
and what is even spectacular, even though it's sad that the original version of this film is supposedly no longer around, at least the American edit is really in fine shape. And my understanding, though, too, even though, again, no one knows 100%, a lot of people believe that not a whole lot was changed in the American edit of this film.
Mhm. You were talking about earlier about the Korean version of this film could have been potentially lost uh, or its unknown whereabouts. says here that in the 2000s, the Korean Film Archive acquired a 48-minute 35 millimeter print of the Korean version. And it says that the print was converted to digibit beta and was unable to be projected due to heavy damage. And it said that the 48-minute version premiered at the first Chungmoro International Film Festival in 2008. So there's at least 48 minutes found of the
It makes
Korean
me
version.
wonder why the other, I don't know what, like 35 minutes or whatever are gone.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe a little bit more.
He's sleeping because you're dull. You wanted to play Parcheesi. He wanted to play strip poker.
He's like, oh, you're no fun. I like how he's wearing pink. The pink PJs.
Are those PJs or just some generic clothes?
Those look like PJs to me the way that they're made. Yeah. Yeah, it's just all pink.
Maybe they came with the hotel room. That's quite a snazzy hotel room.
Yeah, because the thing, like the doll back there is all pink.
Get a room. Oh.
Quit kissing her cheek.
Are you a man?
Man up.
You brought your work on our honeymoon? Yeah, I brought my ham.
Even the
radio.
walls are pink. What the heck is going on?
It's the late 60s.
Where are they at? The Love Hotel?
His boss is a dick if he expects him to live well on his honeymoon. Some kind of nuclear test. Okay, well, call me when you have more specific information then. Instead of playing Battleship.
Boy, that is quite a thick antenna on that radio.
Again, it's the 60s. Jason's
look at
living in the 20 teens, and he keeps forgetting this is from.
Well, I mean, look at that. That's even though it's in the 60s, that's still a bit unusual to have an antenna that thick.
Look at that model set, though. I mean,
look at that rocket.
These always remind me of like the Soviet boxing uniforms from Rocky IV.
Yeah, it kind of does. So amazing.
Oh, Lucy took the football out from Charlie Brown again.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
That'd be funny, and he wasn't ready. No.
Wait a second, I'm not.
He's upside down. Like, that'd be funny if all the blood rushed to his head and he passed out and he's just hanging there with his arms flailing over his head.
I'm not feeling too good.
But seriously, though, like the miniature work here is spectacular. This shot reminds me an awful lot of a shot we will see a year later from Toho and Destroy All Monsters. And I have to say, and this is probably a controversial thing to say, this panning shot of their rocket launch pad, I think, is a lot better than what Toho did a year later.
Even though that they had $20,000 worth in US dollars to work with for miniatures and models, that's still pretty good for what they did.
But then again, you're talking about a communist country. I mean, you know how many people worked and didn't get paid on this.
South Korea wasn't a communist country.
I thought this was North Korea.
No, it's South Korea.
Oh.
North Korea, that's pole gassery.
Oh. Well, anyway, when this was made in Denmark. Geez, Ken, it would have helped if you at least listened to the commentary. Again, I forgot, so shut up.
Yeah. And here, I thought you even knew that this was made in South Korea.
Well, when it comes to the Korean films, I always get mixed up as far as like which Korea made them. Like I thought North Korea made all of them.
Oh no.
You're like that I spoiled your honeymoon?
Yeah.
I was just about ready to get some, father. If you look closely here in a moment when the explosion happens, you'll see like a glass top right there.
Oh yeah.
That's what helps.
And it seems to look like that they had that in the background too, between that smoke and the mountains.
It helped create sort of that mushroom cloud effect.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like the model, I mean, granted, there's not a whole lot here, but just a moment ago when you had some trees in and that matte painting in the back, I mean, that's some really detailed, wonderful stuff there.
Yeah.
Another thing about this movie is it doesn't take long till we start getting into the monster action.
Yeah, it gets right to the point more than
we're
either
just under 15 minutes in and we start getting the monster.
Yeah.
That gets old pretty quick here. Capsule. I keep thinking about drugs.
I'm lost. I'm confused.
Capsule. Take a capsule. That's fast. They start printing a newspaper and it's out to everyone in under 30 seconds.
What a waste of piece of paper.
They can't get radio contact from him for about 45 seconds. They already declared a state of emergency.
The only thing that would be nice is they had maybe some sort of subtitles. See what you're reading.
They know no one's going to buy the movie and actually watch it except us.
And diehard Kaiju fans.
Oh crap, did I do my mic? Okay, yeah, I did.
Yeah, because I can hear you still.
I had to mute it a moment ago because I had a cough and I couldn't remember if I unmuted it. They actually let people come in with their pajamas.
Hey guys, I'm still alive. Well, in Korea, those are typically the traditional.
I know. I'm playing an ignorant buffoon.
Don't be an idiot.
It's almost like he's partially snarling in that helmet. I don't like that guy right there who's just received the teacup. I look at his face and I don't like him.
He looks like Jim Varney in a way.
Really?
Yeah, the face a little bit.
I can see it maybe in the mouth area, but I thought about him like a week and a half or two ago, and I'm like, man, it's hard to believe he's gone.
Yeah, I was just watching up a review from Cinemassacre where they reviewed Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yeah. It'd be funny if he, while he's holding Icho, he took him and he smashed his eye socket into that microphone there. Fatality.
Or this guy here, like one of these times he should have sneezed and then it's like, ah,
And he can't see because it's all full of music.
Just let me die.
He's going in way too fast.
Where'd he go? Can't see crap. You know, since he was landing from outer space, I wonder how long it would take for him just to go down like that.
He would have lost his lunch like 5 times over. It's amazing how quickly he traveled. The fact that they had newspapers going during this entire time, and then they were able to drive within a reasonable distance to go get him. I mean, none of this from a time standpoint makes sense.
Well, then the other thing too is that when he was positioning himself to land on Earth, he still did it in space, but then they didn't account for the gravity pull or anything.
Right, because you're going to burn in the atmosphere for a while.
Yeah. There is life out in space. I mean, oh,
yeah,
wrong show.
Call this one Booger. That's rocky sand. I wouldn't want to go to those beaches.
It's quite the big beach, though, if that's the case.
Hi, I drove 100 yards to see you. Yeah, I mean, none of this makes sense. It didn't even seem, it seemed like he was gone for maybe no more than a couple of hours.
Or maybe like a day, because Ichiro there, he was in a different set of clothes when he was at that one guy's
That could be a plot point hole in
laboratory.
this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, a plot hole, duh. I like how it's just a glow. This guy right here always reminds me of Bob Haskins or Bob Hoskins. Big Mario and Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
This room of smoky-filled oligarchs is so funny throughout the course of this film because you just get occasional shots of them just looking at that grid and that's it.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes. I'm wondering how many of these men developed like emphysema or lung cancer because it seems like they all are smoking and they all seem like they have a cigarette in their mouth almost all the time.
It's like a table of mafia people.
Yeah. The reason why they got a tablecloth that's red just in case they shoot someone, the blood. You can't prove nothing. You see no blood.
You saw nothing. You heard nothing.
Would you say you're stupefied?
What, you dumb?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like the guy in the middle there of the screen. It's like he's got a derp. It's like he's got a derpy face.
He's thinking about what he's gonna order at the drive-thru at Burger King. Do I get the Whopper Junior? What about the chicken fries? Those seem pretty good too.
Sort of hard to see the
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
cityscape. Although Seoul at the time probably wasn't as very uh, lightful compared to Tokyo at the time.
Well, I think if you have the DVD, I think it's brighter. That's some of the problems I have with Blu-ray is that sometimes your colors are a little brighter or darker.
I like how this arrow here on the glass thing is just moving on its own.
I know. I've always tried to figure out like what's moving that thing. I
Well,
mean,
now
you
I
obviously
can,
see string there, but like in
yeah.
their office, like is it supposed to be a magnet? Like what's supposed to move it?
But yeah, I just briefly saw a faint little line of the strain there, just moving that arrow along.
Let's watch.
So fascinating. Get the hell out of there!
Wow, that was fast declaring martial law. Usually you declare martial law after a disaster is hit.
Apparently, they want to get ahead of the curb.
It's
Boy,
quite
that's
a
some.
fancy house.
Yeah, I was about to say that's quite the fancy furniture that they have.
Quick rob him.
What am I supposed to do? Oxygen destroyer's already made.
Once it hits that black dot, we're doomed.
But it looks like it's going to miss it, though. It's like,
Gas helps
it's
take
like,
care of
oh
this.
shit.
Looks like someone yanked that vase off of that table.
Oh man. Just quickly from when that one building collapsed, there you can see some of the creases of the backdrop
Yeah,
there.
I'm willing to look past that a lot of times simply because, well, and a problem here, even though the miniatures are good, a vast majority of them are so hollow that they fall in an unrealistic manner. But,
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to forgive the movie that because more times than not, they're really trying. Like right here, the mat work is really good.
Is it gonna keep moving?
I would love to get paid to watch an arrow move on a map. There's a lot of gasoline that flew. How did he survive that?
I don't know if they said anything about surviving.
Does you'll see him here in like a moment or two.
But yeah, that guy
Like,
was
why did that guy drive as quickly? It's like, what kind of a doof are you when you?
it's simple. He was a bad driver.
Yeah, that's way too simple. See, there he is.
Oh whoa. How did he get him so fast?
See, it's
Oh,
supposed to be blood, but it looks like motor oil.
that looks like jelly. You're faking your death.
I'll give you $5 to lick his face. We're rich. None of this is going to affect us.
It looks
Spinosaurus.
like gobbledygook.
Golf clap. What a fancy homes.
Yeah.
I've noticed a couple places had dolls in these really fancy cases. There's Waldo. Right there.
Where's Waldo? I can't find him.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Well, shoot it to find out if it bleeds. Okay. Pfft. Yep, it bleeds, and it's dead.
Here I come to save the day. Woo!
Chips. They're in a real
Coming to
hurry.
take you out, boy.
They have this loose boulder on the side. It's like, that's not going to help a whole lot.
Stop in the name of the... Oh.
Nothing to report, yet there's a strange glowing light and an earthquake, just like 200 yards off.
What are you talking about? The mountain is just blowing off some steam.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
I just remembered something. I
I'm
forgot
pregnant.
to lock my door.
That map in the background reminded me of maps you'd see in elementary school, like of the world, where it'd have like either all the state flags or all the flags of the world. Here's our star. It is a neat little suit.
Yeah.
All the dead people can stay. Some of my favorite whoopsies of this film are, and we'll see it here in a little bit, are the real erratic and inconsistent scaling issues with Yongary and like the buildings and the people.
Oh, yeah. There's a guy just walking along drinking while everyone's running. It's like, what's wrong? Looks like a perfectly good day.
Why not? We're all gonna die. Might as well make it. Do these people just not show emotions? They're all just kind of, head down, stone faced as they evacuate.
I guess they just weren't given enough direction.
Peekaboo.
Ah, take that. Did you say bon appetit?
Bon appetit. Have some lead.
That only tickles. I see you.
You said withdrawal, and the guy goes moving forward, and you do too? Where are you going? Now you making a U-turn? Obvious Gamera and Godzilla ripoff.
Ah, take that.
Just got done making love.
Or actually just got done taking a leak. Work's more important.
Why would you want to marry that guy if he keeps just brushing you off and saying, I'm married to my work? I mean, he tells you right up front he's not interested when he says, I'm married to my work.
Guy should have thought everything through in the first place.
No one asked you, Icho.
Get away, I'm trying to take a leak again. Let me take a leak in peace.
You're taking the rug?
And a globe. The end is nigh. End is nigh.
And then here are gluttons.
Oh, food.
Would there be anybody around to actually cook that? I would think most of the cooks and all that would be leaving.
I bet they cooked it themselves.
Gross.
Dance, 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 dance.
No one would dance with me. There's a trip right there.
It's like their bodies were taken over by some thing. Yeah, take that.
I have to say, like, some of that is the most realistic party scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
The one thing I like about this is that it's like we've seen people just run everywhere in the big cities while we've only seen Yongary in the countryside just in one particular area. And then for some reason now we're just seeing a building
Like
being
there,
demolished and we didn't see Yongary up until now.
Yeah, that was a major scaling problem right there. This is something you didn't see a whole lot in some of the earlier Godzilla and Gamera films where you had a ton of decent sized models and miniatures on a, okay size set for the guy playing the kaiju to walk through and destroy. I mean, yeah, you had that in some of the movies, but you didn't have it all that often. He's not interested in you. Go away. Shit, Sherlock. I would have just shoved that kid out and be like, take him, take him.
Everybody being mean to me.
Leave him. Leave him.
Ichiro, quit falling down.
It's Icho.
Oh, whatever.
Leave her. Leave her.
Why'd you have to go and fall down too? Oh!
Styrofoam block hurt me.
I'm surprised just bleed a little. I mean, you should have bled profusely because they also hit him in the face.
Well, it's near his chest. Like, wouldn't that bust some ribs? Maybe even like mess up his heart?
Yeah, like
Because that was an
heart
easy thing to
palpitation
cut.
and lung puncture.
He should be spitting up blood, turning into a monster. It's quite an interesting design choice to have two spikes on either side of its tail.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like that gal in the background there on the typewriter is like she's just typing random stuff.
that'd be fine. Instead of, oh, what's the phrase? Transcribing, she was writing her own novel.
Or just typing the same letter over and over again.
50
Oh,
Shades
Icho,
Grey.
quit covering yourself in poo.
That'd be funny if it became more of a movie about like Yongary trying to get Icho and Yongary winning in the end.
Yeah. I like how that building sort of looks like the Japanese diet building.
It's their Gojira 54 moment.
Yeah, basically. I mean, just look at it. Look at the scene. It's basically the same setup. And basically goes right through the same area of that
Yeah.
building.
Again, though, despite clear ripoffs and all that, it look at how wonderful this looks, though. I mean, it
Oh
looks
yeah, no doubt
looks
about it.
great. And this right here is a wonderful shot. It's always been one of my favorite shots of the movie. I'd be curious to know how long it took for all this to be put together, even though like all the buildings were hollow. Like, still, there's a lot of detail put into all this.
Yongary's ruining our plans to take over the world. Oh, wrong movie.
Wrong movie.
And I think not long from now, I think we'll see another scaling problem.
We'll run into a weird dialogue issue coming up maybe in the next 5 or so minutes. It's really funny because the guy they run into repeats the same thing about 4 times. They seem frightened. Ah! A little whoopsie there. You get to see the end of the blowtorch.
I mean, you would think you would have learned your lesson already if you try to fly that close.
Nah.
Get back here, helicopter!
Almost sounds like he's ripping into like flesh or something.
As far as the movie goes, you would particularly only see the whole city destruction thing later on in a film, particularly, but here it just sort of comes close to the middle and in the middle.
Well, yeah, it's similar to how Godzilla Raids Again is another underrated movie.
Mm. First we see him in the city, now he's out in the countryside.
Why should a little boy smear poop on his face?
You tell me.
Probably saw Predator and was like, he sees
Run.
body heat, so I'm gonna put poop on me.
That's why you don't run around the sewers there, like he was doing earlier.
Like he knows which levers to.
Holy crap! I like how there's a river of gasoline just going down that hill there off to the left.
I wonder how many people actually got hurt doing this.
I don't know if I read anything about that.
5 bodies were charred during this scene.
Oh. So that very first scene at the beginning of the film where they had it shot in space,
Yeah.
apparently, according to the production thing here, the screenwriter originally intended for Yongary to be a single-celled organism from space that mutated into a giant monster after exposure from radiation. So
That still
that,
seems weird considering that's not what
yeah,
actually happened.
yeah, right. That could have been their original intention, but the way that you watch the film here, it doesn't really seem like that's the case at all. See Yongary do the Yongary dance here.
See
Get
kids
back here, tail!
sniff crack.
Each will think of evil thoughts. Damn it, tail! You get back here! It'd be funny if all of them were doing the Yongary dance. Like, oh man, that's so cool.
We need to do that at this year's G Fest.
It's like, hey everyone, do the Yongary dance. Instead of doing the Mario, do the Yongary.
Yeah.
Oh, you smell like crap because it is crap.
Smear it on me. It's got eternal life juices. He seems to be doing okay after. Oh no. I couldn't hit the mute button in time.
But no, I want to stay like this. But you smell like poo.
It's amazing how they're able to get from one place to another.
Yeah.
So quickly.
Yeah, because it seems like from where they live, obviously, they have to be far away. And then Icho there, like, how long did it even take him to get from that tank yard all the way to, was it the laboratory of that dude's?
This is the one.
I am not the one you're looking for. Trying to play hide and seek over here. Oh, you see me now.
It's the same thing twice to them. It's like they're stupid. They're just standing there. Well, get out of here. We're using guided missiles.
I'm hurt. Please fix me.
Beep boop.
This poop stays permanent. That looks like a jar of piss there.
Grandmama's peach tea.
Oh, God. Son, my boy, your ideas are terrible. Boy, you sound so dumb to me. Go away.
That's just about everybody here.
Oh, man, I was so scared there. Nothing so far. Now, please don't disturb me. It looks delicious. Can I have some? Summer Olympics have begun. I need my fix.
What if we take these jars of piss and throw it at it?
That guy right there, he sort of reminds me of that one dude that messed around with dynamite from the Red Green show.
Oh. He's been itching for an awfully long time. I would have thought he would have like practically ripped his skin off.
The same guys are at it again. Let's bully him some more. Oh boy, I get to mess around with this stuff. What should I do now? Oh, now you're just pissing me off now. Yummy, that's some good fire.
Same. Who cares? I have to admit though, like as much as I find this movie to be a guilty pleasure, just about every time I watch this movie, as the movie progresses, I start like checking out a little bit more just because some of the filmmaking it stays too long on like one scene or one area for too long. There's not a whole lot of progress made.
It's sort of like Latitude Zero.
Yeah, I mean things just kind of dangle around for a while. The difference between this and Latitude Zero is that this one actually is a little bit more fun.
Yeah. And there's actually stuff going on, whereas a lot of times you're just in the submarine. And see, like for that reason, you know, just the shot of the clouds there, it's like couldn't really tell what was going on there, but now you start to see the rain.
Hallelujah, it's
But it's
rain
like when
man.
it comes to rain here, it should have maybe shown some lightning here and there because a lot of the filming, like other films, when there's rain about to come, see now there's lightning now. It's like when it comes to films and all that, when you know that rain's about to come, they would show like the clouds there that we saw, and then lightning, and then comes rain. Whereas in this film, you didn't really, you only just saw the clouds, but no lightning. Boy, those headsets on that guy is like really going down to his face.
You would have thought that was like a retainer.
Or just like to like help straighten out his jaw bone or something.
What'd you say about a boner?
I said jawbone.
Oh, I thought you said boner.
Never said anything of the sort.
They're 100 proof.
They were so bored. I'll be damned. Hallelujah.
Yeehaw.
That'll put Yongary out of his misery. Yay, good job. Oh.
Dumb shits. Kent, do you hate people being happy? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like he can hear you.
You?
Oh, I'm so hungover.
All right.
All right, everyone, do the Yongary.
Maybe Barney was created out of Yongary. Like Yongary was the inspiration. Definitely one of the goofiest moments of the whole film.
Yeah. Icho there kind of reminds me of oh gosh. The one kid from the Goonies.
Oh,
Chunk.
yeah. You know what would make this scene one of the greatest scenes in movie history?
What's that?
They're doing what they're already doing right now, and then all of a sudden, like the music stops. A second later, you see Yongary go boom, and he stomped on the kid, and they lift his foot, and you just see him splattered all over. Be like, good, I distracted the kid long enough to where I could get him.
That's what you get for shining a light in my eye. We found Waldo. Where is he?
So it's dark and then it's light.
Make
Dark,
up your mind, world.
light. Another great like miniature shot and set here.
Mm-hmm.
Pew 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 pew. They're sleeping on the job. Oh,
Oh
now
yeah, see.
yep. And then okay, you'll see. Okay, see, look at that. Look at that third wheel. I forget what it's called, like the dummy wheel or whatever it's called, to
Uh-huh.
prevent them from actually flipping over. Like, how did they not see that during the editing process if there was one at all? I mean, even the cameraman would have had to have seen that during this moment. Would have been like, either we reshoot that or we omit it.
Yeah. And then now he's quickly back in the city, which he wasn't before when they were over in the countryside there in the oil refinery.
Quit thinking so much, Jason.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
This is
So basically, we're getting towards the end of the film here now.
we are, and definitely another odd moment about the whole movie.
Yeah, you'll learn soon enough as to the reason why. And see, that's also another good effect right here.
Right.
Although you can see a little bit of the difference between the sky color there
Right. The thing is,
in
though,
certain
again,
areas.
if you're watching it on a Blu-ray, you will notice some of that stuff a little bit more. But on a DVD, I never noticed it.
Yeah.
This is why, like, to some degree, I'm against putting classic films on Blu-ray just because you start noticing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I buy them on Blu-ray is because you'll a lot of times get some sort of extras on them
Yeah.
you didn't have on the DVD.
Well, here soon enough, they could possibly start adding some on the to Ultra HD or 4K type of format. And then you'll probably see more stuff in especially in a lot of these classic films. And then there you see a piece of you'll see pieces of skin flying off from the suit there.
Good backdrop paintings. Actually, those are explosive. I'm not sure the technical term, but they're like little covers that kind of held the explosives.
Yeah, I wonder how the guy in the rubber suit fell after all that big explosions going off on the suit.
Duh. Oof.
Get over here! Blah!
You doing that on purpose because you know Mortal Kombat 11's coming out in like a month?
Yeah. Back for some more, huh, helicopter? This time I'll take you out. Come at me, bro.
Bend over and I'll show you.
Yeah, hard to believe we're already at the end of this movie. Quit putting dust on me. Oh, take that. It's like he's trying to imitate a turtle and can't get up.
Like when he crouches over like that, it reminds me of Walter Matthau and Grumpy Old Men. I must destroy the bridge because, well, it's there.
It offended me.
It smiled at me. I don't like happy things.
It said mean things to me as well. Maybe I worked a little too well. I can't take any more of this etching.
But
Yeah, the guy there's like, yeah, right.
oh crap. Okay. First off, why?
Yeah.
Like, why of all things? Second of all, I saw no butthole.
I would have to say, out of all the classic kaiju films, that part had to be one of the more disturbing things.
It is disturbing even when compared to current day because, like I said, why? What was the need for that? They could have had, like, it makes me incredibly sympathetic for Yongary, because it's like, what a way to go. And,
Yeah.
uh, like, why would you do that? Like, you could write something different in there. Like, how would that precipitate make him bleed from the rectum? I mean, it makes no sense. Like, I could see it burning his eyes, like maybe like choking him on the inside and he like maybe asphyxiates or something. Like, why couldn't you have done something like that?
Or
And
like
oh look,
somewhat,
let's have him bleed out of the butt.
or just like really doing something to the skin. Like,
Right, like he scratches so hard that he literally scratches himself to death.
yeah. Or like that powder could potentially start eating away at the skin.
Yeah, like that guy didn't have all the letters on the back of his jacket. He just had SR. It's supposed to be SRC. Yeah, he bled from the butt.
Let's celebrate by having select few at this building with a red carpet rolled out.
Anybody want a bloody Yongary?
And let us dress fancy too.
Anybody want an hors d'oeuvre? Oh, these are good. What are these? Well, they're cookies with a jelly filling.
And a little bit of caviar. Yeah, all of them dressed nice except for Icho there with a Hawaiian shirt.
You're a psychopath. You celebrated with such ecstasy on the death of a creature who died from the rectum.
Yeah, what a way to go.
Again, filmmakers, why? Kim Ki Duck, why? My sister's busted. I saw her with another man the other night and starts a fight with their boyfriend there on the steps.
First, you were trying to chase after me. Now you're trying to chase after other guys? How dare you?
Chasing more frontal tail. It's amazing all the destruction he did that, this ending right in this location is like pristine and perfect. Nothing. Like there's no smoke, there's no damage.
Particularly from that earthquake that they had earlier.
Okay, like this little message Icho's trying to give here at the end about how he feels sorry for Yongary. It's look, I understand you want to have like a message of like being sympathetic. The problem is though that this movie never really showed that to
Yeah, because
Yongary.
it seems like he tormented Yongary with that
Right.
flashlight.
And they celebrated his death. Just thought of something awful. Like they go in there, the camera pans out on the building, then all of a sudden the building blows up.
Or just suddenly finally collapses in on itself.
Yeah, like the earthquake made the foundation weak to where it just eventually fell. I would love to see a sequel to this where like Icho comes back and he's like just the just the biggest douche. And he gets into like it's a story about Icho and he's haunted by dreams of Yongary and he ends up like having a fight club and he just gets living snot kicked out of him.
Well, that concludes Yongary.
All right, so stop it here. So, yeah, like Jason said, that's Yongary Monster from the Deep. Um, a really, let me see if my camera will work now.
Let me get my
There
camera.
it works.
Hey!
Well, heidi ho, everybody.
Welcome to the show, Kent.
My body caught up with my voice. My body was off napping somewhere. And I had my disembodied voice right here talking to you the whole time.
Well, it wasn't quite disembodied. It's like there was a point where your video feed there was just all green.
Well, yeah, it was really weird. But yeah, anyways, that was Yongary, Monster from the Deep, a guilty pleasure of mine. But like I said, the movie has a lot of serious problems. I mean, there are problems with, writing in general, writing of the characters. Icho is really stupid, and I mean, there are a lot of things about this film that I admit are simply not good. But there are two things about this movie that I think by and large are good and come through. One thing is the effects. Now, granted, as we even commented here almost towards the end, there was a really bad like blue screen shot, and then there was some bad miniature work, scaling work. There was also that support wheel on that Jeep that got sliced by Yongary there. There were moments of bad effects, but by and large, the effects are pretty darn good. I mean, they're
Mm-hmm.
I would argue by and large they would compete with the Godzilla and Gamera movies at the same time. I'm not saying they're better than those, but I'm saying they would compete with them as far as quality. The second and final point that I think this movie, more than anything else, succeeds at is entertainment value. You could have so much fun with this. I would love to get a group of friends and or just even Jason and I, like we just decide one time, hey, let's play a drinking game with this thing, and you probably would never hear from us again because we'd be dead. This
Yeah.
this movie is so entertaining. I mean, part of it is due to the absolute goofiness and absurdity of just execution of shots, and also just how they decided to write the story, how they decided to write the characters, what they decided to leave in the film. It's highly entertaining. It's a fun B movie. And again, though, too, I think some people are overly harsh. I will agree with them. It's a bad movie, but this movie at the same time is so much fun that I just, how can you not have some sort of fun when you watch this?
Yeah.
I would have to say, though, for every Kaiju fan, if I were to give a rating, buy, rent, or pass on this, I would say at the very least rent it. I mean, it's one of those. It's bad enough, but it's so goofy entertaining that I think there are enough people out there that would get a kick out of this at least.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is one of those movies that is pretty unique to where it, like you said, it gets to be goofy at times. And then, of course, when it comes to visual effects, yeah, you'll see a couple areas that we mentioned and pointed out while watching Yongary here that there is some scaling issues here and there, and especially some effects problems, especially when Yongary uses his laser from his horn there to cut that Jeep in half. You'll see the third wheel, which I'm guessing that they didn't realize it until probably was a bit too late. Once they finished the film, or when they did this cut of the film. And yeah, even though well, with that, the miniatures, the suit are good, but also like the characters, the story is a little bit goofy. And then I would also say some of the cuts to certain scenes and the consistency in some of the areas of the film are a bit off as far as the timing of a lot of the things here and there that we've seen earlier in the film, when that one guy goes up into space and so on and so forth.
And again, one of my favorite moments is that scene where they run into the soldiers. You better get out of here. They'll be shooting at Yongary any minute. They'll be using guided missiles. You better go. They'll be firing at any moment. They'll be using guided missiles. You better go. Like, it's just the same thing. It's just I'm not kidding. The first time I saw this movie, I rewound it on Netflix. I'm like, did I hear that correctly? And I'm like, I did. And I'm like, I am sold on this movie. Like, it's so deliciously bad that.
But yeah, if it comes to the rating of this film, yes, I would probably also give it a rent as well, because you may never know when it comes to certain people. But I would say rent it and give it a watch. And I would say that you would definitely enjoy the entertainment of value, especially like what Ken and I have had in the past with this. And you can, like Kent said, that you can invite your friends or like your siblings and have a drinking game out of this sort of movie here. It is an enjoyable guilty pleasure sort of film. It's, to me personally, I don't think it's one of those movies that you would really hate. Granted, it's goofy, it has its flaws, but it is one of those films that I would think that you would enjoy.
This movie, in some respects, although I think the movie I'm about to mention does its effects work just a little bit better. This movie is, in my opinion, on the same level as Super Inframan. It's entertaining as heck, but yes, there are some major problems here.
Yeah. But when it comes to those two movies, Inframan is far more entertaining.
I don't know. I don't know. I may disagree with you on that.
It's like, when it comes to that one, it keeps you on your feet throughout the entire movie. Whereas there are some resting points here.
Yeah, I
and there.
mean, there are some issues that they did as far as focus. Because, like I've always said, as this movie progresses, yes, I kind of start checking out a little bit. So, yeah, something to consider maybe when you come here in a couple of months. Maybe do an episode where we do a drinking game with this.
Oh, God. Well, I know.
The thing is, I haven't touched alcohol since January 23rd. So,
well, I know we were thinking about, well, I've got a couple of those board and card games that I reviewed on here last year. Was it Kaiju Crush and then Kaiju Incorporated? And I know we were thinking about doing a live streaming of us playing those games when I was going to be at your place here. So maybe maybe we can also try to fit something in, or maybe try to come up with like a certain things on a list for this film or whatever.
Every time something dumb happens, you take a drink.
Well, that's basically the entire movie right there.
Need about 150 cases of a 30-pack of Natty Ice.
Oh God.
But yeah, that's Yongary Monster from the Deep, a guilty pleasure of mine. I still recommend you check it out. I think it's something you may find at least amusing. So thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks when we continue our reviews. We will be doing Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 from the Heisei series.
So when is our next show? Since last
Yeah,
week we were originally going to be doing this until you weren't feeling too well. So now
we're looking
the
at the
scheduling.
we're looking at April 13th now.
Okay.
April 13th.
All
So yeah,
right. Well, with that, thank you for watching the DKN commentary on Yongary Monster of the Deep. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below this video if you haven't done so already, as well as hit the notification bell to get the latest updates on us uploading new videos on our YouTube channel. And if you don't watch us on here on YouTube, we also have the audio versions of both our show and commentaries on both iTunes and Google Play Music. And we also have an audio player on the DaiKaijuNetwork.com website as well.
and we'll
And
try to make sure our clips are no longer 14 seconds.
yeah, for some strange reason there, the WordPress software strangely duplicated just a little bit of the segment of the audio, but so yeah, the latest episodes now has been updated on both iTunes and Google Play Music. So yeah, other than that, yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys on April 13th.
All right.